Hey, real talk. How is your mental health right now? I know when I was going through my things, I didn't reach out to see a therapist, and I wish I did. I thought that because I was a therapist, I don't need to talk to anyone, and that's not true. If you're struggling, you're not alone. I know it's really difficult to manage your mental health, especially if you don't know where to begin. And that is why we are sponsored by BetterHelp. What is BetterHelp? BetterHelp is customized online therapy with video and chat and phone. And listen, if you don't want to turn the camera on, you don't have to. That's why there are also chat sessions. All you do is you fill out this questionnaire and they help assess your specific needs. And then within 48 hours, they match you with a therapist. It's that easy. And then you schedule your secure video or phone sessions. And then plus you could exchange unlimited messages. And of course, everything is confidential. So for me, just having a place to share my feelings and what I was going through helped tremendously. I help a lot of people, and I don't spend a lot of time helping myself, though. So BetterHelp was super helpful in that. You could also request a different therapist if you're not feeling the therapist you have with no extra charge. There are 2 million plus people using BetterHelp. I want you to be one of them. Get 10% off your first month. Just go to BetterHelp, HELP.com/angry therapist. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/angry therapist. I was going more for in excess. My partner says I look like Maui. All right, let me put my hair away. We have a great topic today. We're going to talk about what makes a good life. So here we go. Remember in high school, the laminated posters on the wall that had the 4 food groups? And if you ate these foods, if you ate meat and dairy and what else was on there? I think breads and vegetables, you were guaranteed to be healthy and strong, right? This is before we found out that those were actually advertisements by the meat and dairy companies. But here's my 4 food groups of life. All right, so if we were to apply that laminated poster to life, here's what I think is needed for our lives to be good. Number 1, and they don't have to go in this order, right? As long as you get the 4 in. So the first one is a life that hangs on meaning. You have to have some kind of meaning in your life. Viktor Frankl kind of coined this whole hanging your life on meaning. And I've had a life where I had no meaning and I was just kind of chasing, and my life felt very meaningless. And then, of course, after divorce and becoming a therapist, I have had a life where I felt meaning in my life, a sense of purpose, and it's day and night. You can't even compare the two. Without meaning, I felt very grayed out. With meaning, I felt in color. I felt purposeful and driven and like I mattered, right? And then also, I think meaning is the door into feeling like there are things in this world that are greater than you. You know, when I was a miserable fuck, as that first book title says behind me, I had no meaning. I had no sense of anything greater. I just wanted things, and I just wanted to feel things, right? So I wanted to feel pleasure, and I wanted things that were outside of self. So meaning would be, I think, a huge category. The next category is, and by the way, just real quick, think about your own life as I'm saying these. And I also, as a side note, want to say that this is my definition, right? And it doesn't mean that it's going to be honest to you. And I think that as we grow and change and evolve, what we think is important in life is going to change as well. So this is my definition today as a 49-year-old man talking to you from his garage in Altadena. This would have been a very different definition if I was in my 20s, obviously. So the second category would be meaningful relationships, authentic relationships, relationships that matter. in my 20s and some of my 30s because I was so obsessed with quote unquote success. And I was in a relationship and I was married for 5 years. I didn't think friendships mattered. I thought friends were extra. I thought friends and travel are things that I'm going to get to when I have time, right? When I build my empire. I never really put a lot of effort into meaningful relationships other than the partner. And I always thought like, okay, I have my wife, I have my partner. I don't need anyone else. And so I've experienced that, and it was very lonely. The other thing it does is in a relationship, if you don't have friends, then you're clinging to your partner, right? You are more focused on your partner. You are more grabby. You are more, all the things, more codependent or maybe more enmeshment. So having your own friends is a huge part of life, but also if you're in a relationship, it's really foundational. And then after my divorce, and these days, I have some friends in my life. I don't have a lot, but I have some meaningful friends, and of course that's been a game changer. It's also something in my life right now that I need to work on. I need to work on carving out more time to spend with my friends. Also, putting energy and effort into creating new friendships, right? And the pandemic and the landscape of the world definitely has not helped that. I know we all work from home and live on Zoom, and so it's really hard to make friends, especially as an adult, right? When we were kids, we had that plug-and-play structure of recess and social settings and school dances, and wherever you went, there was some kind of social structure, whether it was a classroom or an event, or sports right on the field. And so you naturally made friends, and then you grow up, and a lot of times we don't want to make friends with the people we work with, and we just basically work, and we're in our relationship, and we don't have time, or we don't put a lot of effort into making friends. So I know it's something that I need to work on, because I know it's a huge part, or I believe it's a huge part of having a good life, is having meaningful friendships. And in this category, of course, the obvious, also a meaningful, healthy relationship with your partner. So an intimate relationship. And of course, that depends on what kind of relationship that you practice and that you're in. In my case, right now I'm monogamous, so having one person that I choose to love daily, that's an important part of my life. It's also where we spend a lot of our life. Like if you were to look at your life pie, I would say the two biggest categories are your intimate relationship, and it doesn't matter if you're monogamous, poly, whatever type of relationship you have, like investing in that space, and then our work, and so having a healthy, not easy, because healthy doesn't always mean easy, but having a healthy, challenging, meaningful relationship, partnership, whatever you practice, is going to definitely contribute to a good life. The third little square in the life of food groups is going to be curiosity, wonder, that space where you play in your sandbox, the flow states, the creativity. And I don't want to say hobby, because I think hobby kind of minimizes it, but something that lights you up, and it doesn't have to be work related. So for me, motorcycles, fitness, coffee, expensive coffee lights me up. If I showed you how much money I spend on coffee a month, you'd be like, John, you have a problem. What lights you up? What gets you excited? What do you think about at night that isn't work related, that sparks ideas, and you get excited, and then you can't wait to do that activity again. Maybe it's climbing rocks, maybe it's jumping out of planes, but we need that thing. And sometimes that thing can be work. The only danger in that, I think, is then work becomes so big. It takes up the two of the four food groups in life, and then suddenly you're just spending a lot of time at work. And it's easy, I think, in our world to become a workaholic. I know I can slip into that easily. I get obsessed with projects and work, and there's like, for me, that line of work and putting your work away and being present with your family, friends, that gets great all the time. Because the way that I work is I thread work into my life. I don't punch in and out. I don't punch a clock, right? I just kind of weave work into my life. And in a day, or in today's day, where a lot of people make content for a living, they write books, there are things that they don't have to like go somewhere to do, that they could do from home. It can be challenging to separate and to put it down. I'm very guilty of not putting my phone down. So what is it that you have that lights you up, that is hopefully separate from work, that you love to do, that promotes flow states, adrenaline, creativity? The big door in would be creativity, playfulness, nectar. Okay, and then the fourth one is your relationship with yourself. And this one ripples through all the other ones if you're not actively working on yourself. And I know that means something different to everyone. It doesn't have to mean therapy, but you are thinking about your story and your inner journey, who you were, who you want to be. You're thinking about your shortcomings and your patterns, what's unhealthy, what's not. You're thinking about self-care. You're thinking about self-love. You're thinking about when you bash yourself, and you're working on that. You're thinking about just working on being more aware of self, your ripple, your energy, how you affect others, how you think, right? All of this stuff. So your relationship with yourself is huge. It's a big part of this. Being the way you treat yourself, being kind to yourself, right? Those are the four, I think, at least for me, those are the four categories where if you have those plates spinning, if you are, if those pistons are pumping, your life engine is going to move forward. It's going to be a good ride. If you have meaning in your life, if you have good, healthy, meaningful relationships, friendships, intimate relationship, and you have a space in your life for play and wonder and curiosity and things that light you up, and then you have, or you're working on actively, your relationship with yourself inside and out, then I think you're gonna have a good life, And of course, like equalizers on a what is it? An amplifier, on an equal, the knobs, right? The bass, the treble. I mean, you could kind of adjust each to find the perfect pitch for you, the perfect sound, and that could change, right? So you could maybe work more on this place in your life. You could work, or maybe like if you have a lot of meaning in your life, maybe what you need to work on is friendships, or if you have amazing friends and there's no work that needs to be done there, maybe your relationship with yourself. So it's gonna vary and be different, But just as like a quick black light, think about your life and think about those areas in your life. Think about does your life have meaning? How are your relationships? Are they healthy? Are they meaningful? Are they honest? Are they authentic? Think about the play in your life. Do you even have play in your life? Or are you just working 80-hour weeks, under a pressure cooker and trying to just get your head above water? right? And if that's the case, yeah, you're one of the 4 food groups of life is missing. So the play, the nectar, and then also, and then lastly, your relationship with yourself. How's that going? What are you doing to connect to you instead of disconnect? If you work on those 4 things, and of course some need more work than others, it might be a great way to just realign. It might be a great way to reboot, get life going again if you feel kind of down and you don't really know what's wrong. Those are 4 big doors I would enter and to explore and to build. Anyway, thank you for listening. If you feel like anyone else needs to hear this, pass it along. And just want to remind you, jump into me and Vanessa's book club. We just wrote a book called It's Not Me, It's You. It's a relationship book. First relationship book I've ever written. Really proud of it. It turned out so good. And we are very transparent in this, and we are doing a book club. You can get the ebook before the book comes out in September. So just go to my Instagram at The Angry Therapist, or my website. It might not be on my website yet. If not, it will be up there soon. And click the book, and it'll give you all the instructions. And it's ongoing, so don't worry if you're late or not. Jump in when you hear this episode, and I will see you in the book club. Thank you for listening. Be well.